So, Gnome here. We're building our goggles today. Because I'm actually letting some paint dry that I used to mark some stuff. I figured this would be a good time to play around with this since I want to get it done. And everyone needs mad scientist goggles that flash. So at the moment, I'm letting the solder gun heat up and kind of reading some of the instructions. I'm supposed to go get this trinket board and figure out if it works on my computer, but I'm supposed to do that before I solder it together, but screw that because I like soldering stuff together. We'll figure out if it works later, but even just playing around with it's going to be fun. So that's what we're doing right now. Once the solder gun heats up, we'll try to start putting some of this together and maybe get some pictures while we're doing it. Okay, so we've got everything soldered up. Now we get to go upstairs, play on the computer for a while, and get this thing programmed and see if it works. Then we'll throw it in the goggles. Hopefully this is pretty easy and will be useful in all sorts of applications. So we got everything put together and tested out. It works actually really well. There's a few things I had to pick up in the on the software to figure it out, but it wasn't difficult at all if you follow the instructions. Tried it out, got the battery kind of charged up, and everything works like a charm. Kind of push some wires to where they're not blocking any LEDs. There are those. Can you see them? Yep, you can see them. Well, you can see one. That's all you need to see. And throw the battery to her. And there she goes. This is just their basic show off. This is the lights that you can put into it. So it goes to a bunch of different flashy things, which is pretty cool because then you can see what they can do. But the big thing that I always was thinking was if you did something like this, you know, our knock to a fan again. Man, can you even? Yeah, our knock to a fan again, which is ugly, and you know we paint it black, but everybody paints theirs black. We want something different. You know, what if you put that on there and run the wires through it? You'd have some pretty interesting looks. Maybe even flip it around and have it come through the back of your fan, just so there was lighting behind it, because this is a little bit bigger than the fan hub. You'd probably get some interesting light on the back side of your blades and off the sides of the fan itself. So I think it's pretty cool. I think it'd be a neat little mod if you had a spot where you could add those into your case if you needed a, I mean, granted, it's a crazy flashing light. If you needed crazy flashing lights, it's kind of a cool thing, I think. Just kind of like, it's kind of like with the EL wire stuff. It's something that I've seen a few people do some Arduino based LED stuff, and granted I haven't been looking that long for stuff like that. But this is seriously like a $20 kit. Comes with everything, including a pair of goggles that work really well out in the sun if you're spray painting and you can't see the white thing that you're painting white. But for $20, you get the board, the battery, a charger, 2 of the rings, and a little bit of wire. And I think with a little bit of research and a little bit of effort, this board, it's programmed by USB, but it can also power off of USB. I think you just have to swap the 5 volt or whatever the positive voltage is from the battery terminal to the USB terminal, and then you could plug it into the USB port on the inside that you set up, or possibly instead of putting this connection on the back, what is that, JST connection, hardwiring a ground and a, what is this, 5 volt to 16 volt. So wire a 5 volt and a ground onto where the JST connector goes off of your power supply. When your power supply kicks on, bam, you've got your lights going. It'll take a little while for it to spin up and actually read the programming and stuff. Like I say, it's a mini Arduino basically. They've toned it down and took a lot of stuff out just so they could get it cheap and small. But powered off of a power supply, this could be really useful. Set up different colors, different patterns. I don't know. I know they make bigger rings, and I know they probably make different sets of LEDs, and I think all this stuff will probably be very similar. I'd have to get it to play around with, but obviously, as easy as this one is, and as easy as the instructions are to follow, even just, I mean, if all you wanted to do was this, I spent 20 minutes on the computer, put a couple programs on and libraries in, and had it going no time at all. So obviously a really, really cool little project that if you've got the spot to use it, it'd be really neat to see on something. And I'm going to put it in some goggles so I can play Mad Scientist while I'm working on cases, and that's what I'm doing tonight. See ya. So what do we think? Mad Science-y enough? I think I need some diffusers in there. Hey, it's pretty fucking cool. Definitely going to have to find a spot to use this somewhere.